Welcome to the Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson. I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally.
On today's episode, what I'm talking about is that with anxiety, we are going to have a lot of ups and downs. We are going to have days that are just going to be rough. They are going to feel as if we're not making any progress, as if we are just back to square one. And that happens a lot. Like for me, whenever I was overcoming my anxiety, it took me 3 years. And within those 3 years, I had about 8 months that was severe anxiety, and another 2.5 years I had like ups and downs. And throughout the entire time, I remember the first time I snapped out of DPDR and I started to improve and I started to feel much better. I'm like, whoa, I finally get out of this situation. I'm no longer experiencing anxiety. And then, lo and behold, I was kind of surprised. And I realized afterwards, like, oh man, anxiety came back. I'm like, that means it didn't go away. So I used to have a lot of ups and downs, and it's perfectly normal to experience that while you're on the journey in healing your anxiety, because again, you're overcoming something. You're healing your sympathetic nervous system, and you're trying to rewire your amygdala and to rewire your subconscious mind and how it actually thinks. Does take time. It's not going to happen from today to tomorrow. You're going to have some great days, which is amazing, but you're going to have some days that are going to be very rough. You're going to understand, why is this happening to me? It makes no sense. Why does it feel like I'm going backwards? But we need to understand that we need to focus. We need to focus more on those good days and tell ourselves, you know what? Yes, I'm having a rough day, and that's okay. But I also had really good days in the past. I had really good days, for the past few days or for the past few hours. Whatever it is, I did have those good moments. So it is definitely possible, because that focus, whenever we change that focus, instead of focusing on oh man, I have anxiety again. This really sucks. I'm down in the gutter again. I'm back to square one. I really thought I was doing much better. Why am I not getting better? I don't understand what's happening with me. That doesn't make us feel better. It doesn't make us feel good. It makes us feel less. We're not gonna have as much motivation then, because we're trying and trying and trying, and we're not seeing the results, the absolute result. But the thing is, with anxiety, it can't be possible that it's going to be either you have or you don't have. Again, you're going to get to that point where you no longer will have anxiety like I have. I no longer have anxiety for 9 years. But in the meantime, while you're on the journey in healing your anxiety, you are going to have days where you're going to just be down. You're going to have very rough days. You're going to have the anxiety coming back. But what we need to do, again, is focus on those days that I had good days on. We want to focus back on that and tell ourselves, okay, you know what? I'm having a rough day. That's okay. It's going to happen. I'm going to be expecting that. But look at the good days that I did have. I did have some good days, and it felt amazing. And I want to get back there. I want to get to that point. And you will. But again, we need to apply the certain things, the certain tools and techniques. We need to apply certain things to heal ourselves, to start changing our perspective of situations, to try to re-heal our sympathetic nervous system, and trying to better ourselves with our mindset, our emotional mindset, cutting people off that are toxic for us, cutting certain things off, like stopping drinking, to stop drinking, or to stop getting high, or to do things that are negative. We want to change our lifestyle to more of a positive one, so that way we can actually feel much better. So that way we know, okay, you know what? I'm moving towards that place of being anxiety free. That is really going to help us in our journey in overcoming our anxiety. And we want to tell ourselves whenever we're feeling down, you know what? This is an opportunity for me. This is an opportunity for me to become much better. This is an opportunity for me to improve myself. This is an opportunity for me right now to overcome my anxiety again. So let's say, for example, you are afraid of driving, or you are afraid of going outside, or going certain places that trigger your anxiety. What we could do is go back out there and try and do those things with exposure therapy. We want to try to do that again. Because you know what? Right now I'm feeling down. I don't want to drive. It's making me feel anxious. No. We don't want to stop that. We don't want to let anxiety determine or dictate what we could and what we should do. No, we don't want that. What we want to do, regardless how we're feeling, and know this is hard. This is not an easy thing just to like change the way you're feeling. It's not an easy thing because emotions are very strong and they can control us. But what we want to do is say to ourselves, okay, you know what? I acknowledge the way I feel. I'm acknowledging it. I'm not trying to fight it or anything like that. But you know what I am going to do? What I am going to do, I am going to still get up and do it regardless of how I feel. And it's not an easy thing. It's not. And I'll tell you something, this is going to help you throughout your entire life because there are going to be times where you're not in the mood of doing something. I'll give you an example with me personally. Like there are days that I don't want to do anything. There are days I'm just so tired because I do a lot throughout the day. Like I'm right now writing a book. I am, dealing with the Calmly CBD. I do one-on-ones. I do this podcast. I make videos. I do lives. So there's a lot of things that I do throughout the entire day that sometimes I overexert myself and I get pretty tired. Also, on top of that, whenever I get home, I have to feed my kids. I put them to sleep, give them a shower. So there's a lot that I need to do. Also with cleaning, me and my wife, we clean up the entire house every single day. We try to do because it does get messy with kids. So there's a lot that I need to do. Me and my wife also, and sometimes I'm just exhausted, especially when I'm coming home. And like we need to clean up the house. I'm exhausted. I don't want to clean up the house. Like I'm not in the mood of doing it, but I know in back of my head, I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to do it because if not, tomorrow's going to be even bigger mess. So I need to do it and I push myself to do it. Now, of course, I have a certain balance and I take some time off to relax and everything. There's times even throughout the day where I take breaks. But the point is that I try not to let my emotions dictate what I should or should not do. Or as well, like, okay, you know what? Something's not working out and it's getting pretty hard. I'm not going to let the emotions determine, like, you know what? It's been such a long time. You've been trying something for such a long time and it's not working out. You know what? Let's give up. I'm like, no, that's just my emotion talking. But if I push and I create and I put out there and trying to like do things, eventually you'll become successful. I may need to maneuver it, but I can't let the emotions dictate what it's going to happen. And this is something that's going to help you whenever you do this also with your anxiety, so that you're going to feel, let's say, for example, down, right? You're going to be able to build that mindset and you're able to build yourself like, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm having a rough day, but I'm not going to let that dictate me for the rest of the day. And it doesn't mean that because now I have anxiety, that means I have anxiety. No, it just means I'm having an anxious moment right now. That's what it is. But I'm not an anxious person in general, because again, we want to change the narrative and saying, you know what, I'm a person that struggles with anxiety. When we say that, we automatically define with that. But if we change it, like, no, I'm not an anxiety struggler. I have moments of anxiety, but there are moments whenever I don't have anxiety. So why not define ourselves with the moments when we don't have anxiety? Why not change the narrative about that? That's going to help us with our mindset. That's going to help us to push forward. That's going to help us to not, whenever we have those down moments, not to associate with that. So we're able to move forward. But if we define ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, I'm an anxiety struggle, I can never get out of this, we are not going to be able to get motivated and push forward and do things and fight the anxiety the right way. So we can't, again, and I'm not saying that every single time you're going to feel like this and every time you're going to have this in your mind, it's going to be hard, but we need to say to ourselves whenever we're down, okay, you know what? I'm having a rough day. It doesn't mean I am an anxiety struggler. It just means right now, this moment, I have anxiety. All right, that's fine. It's okay to feel this way. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that I didn't have good days. It doesn't mean that I am not having better days. It means that I'm getting better. And I'm going to have those ups and downs. And that's going to happen. And eventually I'm going to get to that point where I'm no longer going to experience this. And also that this is an opportunity for me right now to work on myself and not let my emotions dictate what I should do or what I could do or anything like that. I'm not going to let that happen. I am going to try to work through this emotion. I'm still going to feel the way I am, but I am going to work towards the point where I'm not going to feel this way. And eventually I'm going to get there. This will help us tremendously in our journey in overcoming and healing our anxiety.
If you are looking for a natural remedy in order to help you to deal with your anxiety and help you on your journey to overcome it, I created Calmly CBD, where it specifically helps you to calm down your anxiety and panic attacks. And as well, it doesn't make you feel drowsy. It doesn't make you feel sleepy. And it helps you to just feel calm so you can actually do things throughout the day like work, drive, go out, and do whatever you like in a more calmer state of mind. As well as not addictive or any has any side effects or any withdrawals, which this way can actually help you to heal your anxiety and get you to the destination in overcoming your anxiety much quicker. You can click the link that's in the description. It would say Calmly CBD to place your order today. And then right now it's on sale for a limited time where you can buy one and get the second one free. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people, and the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.